Hey, Kipper Chamberlain, you don't know me, I'm Ren Piccolo. I'm a huge fan of your videos, I like your top 11 countdowns. I'm very entertained, I've seen a lot of those anime, a lot of them I haven't seen. Um, I'm a huge fan of anime and manga myself. I wanted to give you a list of my own. It's my top 10 favorite anime, plus my favorite characters from those anime. But keep in mind that those characters aren't necessarily my favorite characters in general, they're just from those anime. They'd probably be up there on my list, but they're just not. To make this an 11 list, I'll go ahead and start by giving you my least favorite anime, which is an anime called School Days. I didn't like this one because it's just about this one guy. He has this one girl set him up with girl two, and girl one gets jealous of them. So like the guy sleeps with um, the girl, and girl two finds out, and so like they break up, and she takes it hard, and she's just turns into a sociopath. Then a guy sleeps around with everybody else in the school. Then girl one gets pregnant, and he's like, "Oh, it's not mine." She's like, "You're the only one I slept with, obviously, because they're in high school. Like, what is this? Like 10th through 12th grade? It's like, I don't know. It's weird." So then, I'm giving you a plot synopsis. I'm sorry, but then he basically goes home to the pregnant lady, and pregnant lady stabs him because he was sleeping around with everybody and he didn't want to take care of the baby. So the then she walks out or something after stabbing him and killing him, and then the girl too that was set up with him, she walks in to find him dead. She's like, "Oh, I love you so much." She doesn't even accept that he's dead, so she cuts off his head for no reason, then presents it to the prego girl, and then she cuts open her stomach or something like that, and she's like, "Oh, you weren't really pregnant. I knew it. Oh, you're so silly." And she's just lost her mind. And the final scene is girl two and the head sailing out into the sunset, and it's just basically like, now we're gonna be together forever. She's cradling his head, and you're like, WTF? And that's my least favorite anime, School Days. I don't recommend it at all. Oh, it's terrible. Okay, now for my top 10 favorites. Number 10, Orin High School Host Club. I like this comedy, I really do. I'm usually judgmental about comedies like Love Hina or something like that. I like that one, but it's just a little too far fetched because of like Sue and whatnot. But Orin High School Host Club, I like the plot. Um, the two favorite characters from Orin High School Host Club were the twins, like Hikaru and Karu, because they had their own tragic past to them, like where no one could tell the difference between them, so they became isolated. And they're like, "Can you guess which one is which?" And no one could, of course, because they're identical twins. And so they became isolated up until like 8th grade or so. That's when Tamaki came up to him and was like, "Hey, you can join me," which after some convincing they did, and their character development was brilliant. I loved it, and I just love that anime series altogether because it's comedy, it's slice of life, it's pretty good altogether. Highly recommend it. Alright, number 9, Naruto Shippuden. Now, I know you're not really a fan of Naruto, or at all, but that's because you're probably stuck watching the fillers, or maybe it's too long for you, which it is. Like, Masashi Kishimoto, he's still drawing it out. Like, I just got another book, and you're like, wow. I'm following the online manga. It's pretty good. It is, but he's really drawing it out because, like, he filled it in with a flashback this time. You're like, oh my god. But I like Shippuden better than the original, much better, because one, the character development, like Naruto becomes more mature. My least favorite character from that is Sasuke. Is like, God, emo kid. Sure, your clan was like killed, but like get over it, man. Just get over it. You know. Okay, my favorite character from Shippuden is Jiraiya. Now, he's a goofball comic relief, but when like chips are down, like he can fight. He's one of the strongest characters in the whole series, and when he actually fights with his full power, you're like, "Whoa, stand the f back! This is Jiraiya, same pervert who goes like galling about like everywhere, which he should be in your pervert list, like number three, right underneath Master Roshi, and the other guy, I forgot his name, for Ranma one half, something like that. I haven't watched drama, so I wouldn't know his name. Sorry. Okay, number eight, Gurren Lagann. I like this one because the action mainly. There's some character development in Simone, the really pale chick who was found in the box. I forgot her name. It's can't think of her name for the life of me. There's Yoko, who I remember. Like, she becomes mature after Kamina dies in episode 7. There's no spoiler because it's episode 7. Sorry. But Kamino would be my favorite character mainly because he's Kamina. He's like the epitome of manlyhood. He's just like takes charge of a situation, and I dare not quote Kamina, but just like watch like Gurren Lagann if you haven't already, and you're just like, no way, I love this. All right, number 7, Kogias. I like this one because of the strategy, the psychology to it. One of my favorite lines from that whole series was when the king, Lelouch's dad, is like, "Do not steal, do not lie, do not cheat, do not murder. These are rules that the weak have established to defend themselves." I'm like, the pure psychology behind that. You think it's true, it's terrible, but it's true in a way, and you feel bad for thinking about it, but you're just like, wow, it's one of those things that make you think. My favorite character from that would be Karen, the red hair girl who pilots the main super badass machine. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry, I haven't watched all of these in years. But I like her because even though she's a female character, she displays like certain strengths. You know, I'm not sexist or anything, but like generally, girls in anime are usually either bitches or they're like display like a certain strength among them. And Karen's one of those who displays strength, and I love her for it. And she's just all badass. It's pretty cool. Okay, number 6, Black Lagoon. This one also I like because the action, because the music to it. It had some psychology to it, like with the mafia wars and whatnot in Japan and Russia and all that thing. The plot and the character development very beautiful. Especially with what's his face. I haven't seen this one in more than 5 years. Black Lagoon. Uh, Rock. I was trying to think of his original name, but I can't think of it because they call him Rock. I don't know why, but he had some character development in him, and he's like original, just like a pussyfoot, and then originally he's like all gun ho about this, and he goes back and forth. You're like, which side is he gonna choose? Like even in the OVA, it still hasn't decided. My favorite character would have to be Revy Two Hands, who dual wields her cutlasses or something like that. Yeah, but I like her because she doesn't really have character development, but it shows that she did have it, like in some flashbacks. Like she grew up in like a hard ghetto environment, and she had to really develop to like come out on top. And then she doesn't like killing people, but she knows and recognizes that she has to survive, which like really there's like very few people who could like accept that they have to kill another person to survive another day, you know? Not a lot of people do that, and I admire that in her. Alright, numero cinco, which is number 5, obviously. Soul Eater. I love this one. It's 51 episodes, not long at all. At first I didn't like it, like first 5 episodes were intro, I'm like, alright, I'll stick it out, see what it is. 6, 7. Professor Frankenstein, 2 words. He comes out being all badass. He like catches the demon hunter Maka and Soul Dead, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm a badass. Get over here." And you're just like, "Whoa, there's some action and some conflict over here." Then the witch comes in, and boom, you got a plot. Then character development, Maka, brilliant. The favorite 2 characters were Frankenstein, the professor. I liked him because like he had a demon in him who just loved dissecting things, and he had to overcome like his inner demon to like basically become a normal person, to like redo his teacher position. And my other favorite character, just because he was a goofball, was Death a Kid, who I have a little statue figurine of. And I just like him because he's just like a goofball. He's like all about symmetry, but his like lines in the hair just ruin that. And he's like, however many times I dye this, it always goes back. Boo boo doo. And I just like him because of the comedy, you know. Okay, number four, numero cuatro, darker than black. Oh my God, what can I say about this? The music, the plot, the graphics, even. It's just all ties together so freaking well. And the action to it. The plot, basically, if you haven't seen it, it's like these contractors are called. They, like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're given a superpower and they have to do something every time they use it. Like, if somebody could fly, then they would have to, like, break a finger or something like that after they use it. But it's not always bad because, like, the main character, Hay, who's my favorite character, um, he doesn't have a contract, but he still has the power. Well, at least, like, the first series, which is the only good one in my opinion. And, I like him because when he's surrounded by people, he's always so serious. He's like, all right, let's get this job done. Everybody needs to keep safe. And then when he's alone, he's always full of remorse. And he's just like, because of his sister, I won't, maybe she's missing, maybe she's dead, he doesn't know, and you don't find out till the end. Then when he's like around a stranger, he's like completely turned on, and not turned on, but like energetic and happy and enjoys life. And you're like, what's wrong with him? And when all this, it's just it goes back and forth with his character development, and I just love him for it. Plus, he has this awesome mask with like a lightning bolt on it. You're like, no way. All right, number three. Still on my favorite list, obviously. Full Metal Alchemist. I love this one because of the plot. That all intertwines episode after episode after episode. You're always on the edge of your seat. What's gonna happen? I love that fact about the anime series. Um, Favorite character was Edward. Obviously, you know, not much needed to say. His character development. He's the underdog that everybody roots for. He's like haunted by his past of trying to bring back his mother and all that, and I just love him for it. He's gotta be like my top five like favorite characters easily. All right, number two, Trigun. I like this one because of the action, because of the plot to it. I don't really have time to explain the plots, but I highly recommend it. There's character development and the main character, who is my favorite character, Bash the Stampede. And at first, everybody tries to guess who he is. You already know because the freaking opening. You're like, is that the main character who was in the entire opening? Yeah, it was. It's kind of obvious. And then, favorite anime, hands down, no contest, Cowboy Bebop. Why? The music, the graphics, the visuals, the plot, the character development, everything intertwines so well. And I just love it because Yoko Kanno was a freaking genius in this. Like, I have all the music on my freaking iPod, and yeah, over there. And I just love it because, like, everybody is given their own character development. Like, I don't find that often in an anime series these days where everybody has their own unique development. But Cowboy Bebop has that. Spike has his like little eye that's like, I don't know if it's like machine or not, but it's pretty cool. Where there's like different shades. It's like one's in the past, one's in the present. I love that. Spike is my favorite character because he's just overall a badass. He's just one of those people who's confident of the situation. He's quick. He's clever. He can outthink his enemy, and he's a fighter. He's like knows Muay Thai and judo and all that, and I just love him and that series in general. All right. I That's all pretty much. Comment and everything like that if you want. Give me your like top 10 favorite anime because I haven't seen one like that. Like you've done heroes, villains, all that stuff, but